Okay. Well, Joe, I haven't spoken to you since Sunday. How was it for you as an experience?
Yeah, it was good, but I just sort of treated it like another game really. Just 11v11, and that was it. And it was a great experience to play that stadium. Obviously, it was even better. The travelling fans come, and they sold it out as well. So it was a really, really good experience and a good game for everyone, I think.
And that's what the manager was talking in the build. He wanted to treat it like another game, and you completely understand that. Is that easy or difficult to do as a player when you're walking out with 60,000 and everything else?
No, it's what you dream of and what you live for. Really, that's what I think all of us want to get to. Everyone's ambitious in our squad, so that's exactly what you want. You don't want to be coming out playing in front of no one and no atmospheres. So yeah, it's brilliant for us, and I think we all really enjoyed it.
And obviously Tommy gets the plaudits for scoring the goal, but listening to a few sort of national bits and pieces this week, there's been quite a lot of praise for the through ball as well.
Yeah, I've it's just a part of my game that I do. It was quite instinctive, and it just really sort of happened really. The ball fell, and luckily Tommy was clever enough to get a good touch and finish it well. Yeah.
But I think it's what you said there is you don't think about it, you react instinctively because that's what you do, and it does seem that's been a real part of your game over the last few weeks, that playing with a lot of freedom.
Yeah, listen, I'll be the first if I play a forward pass and it doesn't come off, it won't faze me. I'll try it again, and if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. But I like to try and be a bit forward thinking, and maybe take a risk going forward, but obviously not. Quite sensible as well, trying to know when to keep the ball and when to make them forward passes really.
Because there have been times when you've been here and fit to play that you've had to play the sort of sitting role a little bit more. You're probably back to being a box-to-boxy sort of type role. Is that how you'd look at it at the moment?
No, I'd actually say it's a little bit more disciplined, to be fair, because we play with the 2 6s and I like it. I've played that type of way at Wigan a lot. I remember playing in there with Sam Morsey. It was two of us in like a 2 type of 6 positions, and I really enjoyed it. So it's quite disciplined, but also you have that room to play, and a little bit of freedom to go forward as well. It's just a good setup really, I think, at the minute.
It certainly seems to be suiting you, and from where I'm sat, I think after the Birmingham, I don't think I've seen you play better for City than you are at the moment. Is this one of the best forms of your career that you've seen?
I'd say it's up there, yeah. Manager's a big part of that. And also, I'm fit and playing every week, and I feel strong and I feel really good. Fit as I've been since I've been here, so that's another part. And yeah, it's hopefully long may it continue. I'm not sitting here now thinking, you've had a couple of good games. Take your foot. No, there's none of that coming from me. I just want to go looking on that Preston game. I'm dying to go there and get a result against them.
From my point of view, it's great that I hadn't had to ask you a question about your fitness for a while. I would imagine, is it not even in the back of your head now? You're just back to being a full-time footballer?
Yeah, I'm just rolling through it. Just back to normal, rolling through it. I've been like that for a while, to be fair. Obviously, feeling good, feeling strong. And long may it continue. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're one of not many players out of contract in the summer. You've had that sort of comfort for the last few years that you haven't had to think about it too much. Is that at the back of your mind at any point?
No, I'm not really that type of person. I don't think. I'm quite chilled about it, and you've got to just let your football do the talking and play and enjoy yourself, and that's it really. And I'm really enjoying my football, and that's all I'm focusing on at the minute.
And you've got a second half of the season coming up now where, looking at where you are on the table, the top 3, maybe 4 teams are kind of, if not away, then they look set for there. But you're one of 8, 10 teams that are legitimately in there with a shout of getting 5th and 6th possibly. Yeah,
it's similar to most years, isn't it? You get last year you had your Burnleys and teams like that who were up there, and it looks similar again this year. You never know, a couple this league's crazy, you never know what can happen, but I think we've got enough. I think we're not far off now. Obviously, I still think we could be a couple of points better than what we are. But yeah, let's just see where we can go, and if we can perform, I think we should take a lot of belief from that game the other day to take into the league. And it took us 5-10 minutes to realise we were all good players ourselves. So I think now we've got to really step up and believe we can get in that playoff picture, because it's all so tight, so it's anything can happen really.
And you can't get inside the head of all your teammates, but for you, does showing that you can compete against a team that's 6th in the Premier League, does that give you an extra level of, puff your chest out?
I hope so, yeah, because it should do. I think since the gaffer's come in, the performances have been really consistent, barring 1 or 2, and then 1 or 2 are maybe coming off the back of 4 games in 10 days, 12 days, whatever it is, which are arguably understandable, really. But I think the performances have been really good, and the lads are all buzzing, and I think, they should take a lot of confidence from that, because you're playing against a top team. Yeah.
So Preston this coming weekend, it probably won't quite park the bus like a Birmingham, but they're not going to make it easy for you to break down, and you'll face a few of those in the coming weeks. That's something you're going to have to overcome if you're going to get where you want to go.
No, yeah, listen, I think Preston are a good side, really well organised. They come to our place. I thought they were really good, started off really well. I think the manager's really good. Obviously going through a little bit of toughish time now, but yeah, I think they'll be at home. I think they might want to come after us. They might want to frustrate us. You don't know. We've got to adapt and be able to problem solve on the pitch, and Gaffer can give us all he can give us out there, and we've got to take it all in and hopefully make that work come Saturday. Thank you, Tom.
You said about the manager's sort of impact on you and your form. Could you expand on that a bit in terms of what you think he's done to get you playing like this?
It's a tough one, really. I think he's just had little chats with me, little chats where I can improve, shows you good things, show you bad things. He's just got real clear messages and how he wants you to play, and I think it's just benefited me now when you go out on that pitch, you know exactly what your job is, and that's it really. But I get on with him. I like him as a manager. I like him as a person first and foremost as well, which is I think a massive part in having that respect for a manager. So yeah, massive respect for him so far. He's brilliant so far. What I've seen, I'm sure he'll continue to impress everyone even more.
We did ask him about you, by the way, but he said some interesting things about you. One of which was, and it kind of maybe taps in with the role you're playing as well, you've kind of brought a bit more discipline to your game, whereby, because you like to wind up the opposition sometimes, don't you? Like whether intentionally or not.
You're mostly unintentionally.
Yeah, but you're good at it, aren't you? Yeah, but you kind of do that, and whereas maybe before it'd almost fire you up too much, you're able to sort of go into that mode, then back into sort of a controlled mode. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, it's how I've always been. I've always liked to play a little bit sort of on the edge, but
he used that word as well.
Yeah, not going too extreme. I've always liked to play like that, and I just think, I think I've getting older. Like obviously I'm not old, but like getting older with games and stuff like that. I've just learned how to sort of manage it really. I wouldn't say there's a specific thing on why that's happening, but I've just learned over the years how to manage it and put it into sort of that middle level type of ground really. So I've been all right with it.
Because it's often you're making a big tackle, you're maybe having a little push and a shove after a moment or something like that, to then not bring your emotion level down, but then to take the ball and then maybe use it very wisely and not go on some kind of hero run or something like that. Like how have you managed to work that?
As I say, I think it's sometimes intentional, sometimes unintentional. So if I'm frustrated, I want to win. If I'm frustrated, I want to win. It's like I'm going to go into a tackle. I'm going to maybe get into a little thing, but then it's about just right, calm now. How do we get going? How do we get back on the front foot? How do we get back to control the game again? Because first and foremost is the results, and how we play is all that matters. Like the Millwall game doesn't matter. It's just handbags at the end of a whistle. It's nothing really. It's just pure frustration, and that's a part of my game that sometimes will probably never go away. I play football like I did with my dad in the park. My dad would wind me up all the time, be kicking out on him. So it's just part of my game, and I've somehow managed to just got it quite level now, and I'm doing quite well at it. So I'm feeling really good.
You meant, like, if you don't mind me asking, in terms of your sort of football upbringing, like how, was it quite intense when you were playing as a kid? Like how?
Yeah, it was massive. We'd have a lot of mini games on the corner of the street and stuff like that. If the other team would win, you wouldn't get that corner for a week. So it was really competitive. Yeah, so I think I've always just had that inside me, really.
What area of Liverpool was that?
Heighton.
Ah, okay, all right, yeah. So
it was a strange one, yeah.
And that's then obviously continued into your career in terms of your mindset and not ever given sorry to use a terrible pun, but not given no quarter.
Yeah, I'd never let that side come away from me, really. I think that's what's made me get to where I am, and I imagine if any of you want to play five-a-side with your mates now and one doesn't track a runner, you're having a right go at them, aren't you? So it's in all of our blood, really, innit? So it's just that competitive edge that you want and you want to win, so that's it, really.
But maybe it's a bit cliche, but there's a sort of quintessential Liverpool thing about that, though. Is that fair? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think we're all just a bit mad, probably. I don't know, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Yeah.
Do you feel, because I appreciate Jason's got the captain's armband, or Matty does, or Andy, kind of the hierarchy, but do you feel like more of a leader these days?
I've always tried to be, like, whether it's speaking, I like to think quite vocal. Like to, if things aren't going too well, I like to try and make a difference, whether it's a tackle or trying to maybe force a forward pass or whatever. I've always tried to be like that. I think that's, again, just my sort of personality, really. I don't think I'd say you feel like this, feel like that. I think I've always been at whatever club I've been at, to be fair.
If it's something you said after the West Ham game, a small little bit where you said you guys think you could maybe provide Tommy with more chances, perhaps, because Sunday's kind of an example of what, if you do that, then he tends to put it in the back of the net. How are you going to go about doing that, if you don't mind me asking?
Bravery to try things, bravery to make a mistake, bravery to, do something, do a bit of magic, whether it's number 10, a winger, midfielder, fullback, and just, I think, a little bit more bravery, belief. Tommy works so hard for us. He's got loads of potential. He's got loads of quality. A few things he could probably work on as well. But yeah, I think maybe a couple of times we maybe haven't created the chances. Maybe Millwall game, I understand it was probably a game too many and the schedule was a bit heavy and there was tired legs. But yeah, maybe we could create a few more chances. We want to create as many chances as we can, not just for Tommy either, for the two wide lads, for 90, for everyone. So as a team in general, just probably being a little bit more brave and trying things. Was
your past therefore brave then, do you think?
I'd say so, yeah, just instinctive again, just, don't overthink things, just go for it. When you get in there, just go for it and believe, and if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. It's not the end of the world, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd say so, maybe so, yeah, but probably more just instinctive off my part.
Do you have any kind of assist target now you're creeping up there?
No, I just keep going with the flow. Like, obviously it's a thing that I want to get more of and want to create more chances for the lads, but no target, no.
Cheers, Joe.
Hi, Joe. A couple of months since Liam's arrival, you've spoken already about all the positives you felt from him. I just wonder what the most challenging thing has been for you on a personal level about the change in style of play so far.
I wouldn't say anything on the style of play. I'd say probably the most challenging thing was when he came in, I was injured. So it was really frustrating for me to probably have a couple of days and I had a little niggly calf. So it was frustrating when a new manager comes in, you really want to impress him and impress the staff and do well. So I wouldn't say the style of anything, I'd just say more the fact that I really was dying to get in and play his way. I think style really suits me, to be honest.
Yeah, and he said when he came in, he went around all the players individually, had a little chat. Did he have one with you? Were you injured at the time?
Yeah, he had a chat with everyone. I think, basically just as a person, really, just introducing himself and not too in detail or anything like that.
And on the style of play, you mentioned it suits you. Do you think that's kind of helped you? I was talking about being a bit less on the edge almost. Do you think that's kind of had an impact as well? That it's a bit less. It was arguably a bit more frantic style of football under Nigel, a bit back and forward a bit more. Do you think that's had an impact as well?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. But as I say, I don't know, I can't say for definite, but possibly. It is a bit more, we are a bit more of a controlled team, and we like to control the game a lot better than we did before, and you could say so, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and you've obviously formed a really good partnership with Taylor Gardner-Hickman in recent weeks in the 2-6 role you mentioned. I just wondered how well you think you two complement each other in the middle.
Yeah, really well. You know, I think he's been brilliant since he's come in. Real attitude for the game, really wants to do well. Young player, I think he'll be a really good player as well in the future. So really enjoyed playing with him, and yeah, long may that continue, really.
Yeah. Rob Dickey mentioned a couple of weeks ago how he thinks the team are learning from negative experiences. I think he used the example against Middlesbrough when you conceded those 2 quick goals. I just wondered, would you echo what he said, that it feels like you are really learning from these experiences and taking them forward?
Yeah, massively. Even the other day, I think obviously when we conceded in 4 minutes, everyone's thinking, here we go, this could be anything. But we weren't, we knew we were level, we were calm. And then I think you see, we were just exactly the same, and we just carried on going, kept plugging away, and in the end got that goal.